you everybody for joining us again. This is the Real Ridiculous Podcast. I'm Shawn.
I'm Loren.
And today we're talking about life lessons. Special guest, Loren's friend Kai.
Yes, sir.
What's going
Good
on?
to have you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, fellas.
All right, so for the viewers are like, yo, who's this random dude named Kai? Kai, tell us about yourself, man. Who you be?
We went to school together, or just in the general area of Albany. I've known Duff now for what, 7 years. Yeah, it's been that long, bro. I'm his boy down here in Miami. We've had a relationship over a couple of years. I do crypto day trading, kind of doing my own entrepreneurial stuff, and want to hop on here and talk a little bit about life.
Black wealth, man. Black wealth. It's like, let me stop.
We're trying to get there.
Yeah, I've known Kai for a while, man. I've seen him grow. Very smart and wise dude. I think you were like what, 2 years younger than me, but it don't even matter. Like, I've seen like how you move, bro. Like, very wise. That's why I wanted to have you on here, man.
I appreciate that, bro. I'm trying to make it.
Facts. We all are.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I'm trying to fail in life. That's my goal. So,
hey. Oh shit.
So yeah, to kick things off, basically I want to attack this like we had a chance to sit down with the youth. If they were seeking our guidance, what are some of the things that you could drop on, on a young person in order for them to succeed in life? My whole thing that I always push is like, get a trade. I feel like you need some kind of skill. I don't believe that college is the way for everybody. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that wants to go to college or whatever, but I feel like they should definitely seek their options. If you're fresh out of high school, you should definitely work. Just get a job. This is my opinion. Just get a job. See what's out there. Whether it's fast food, see how you deal with people, deal with customers. And if it's something that's like not, you're like, I don't really like dealing with people and doing retail or something like that, then try to get a trade, man. Like, get into there's so many things, man, like apprenticeships where you could become a electrician or a welder, a plumber even, and like these avenues are becoming more and more scarce for people seeking it out, That's my first thing, Don't always choose college as the first go-to.
Yeah, I just think too many kids come out of high school and they don't really know what they want to do. College has been in their face. I mean, it's very much celebrated and publicized in high school. Like, you don't make it until you get to college. Once you get there, I met a girl the other day who was she's studying like international business, and she's about to graduate. Like, she has a couple more weeks before she's done. And I was like, okay, so like, what are you gonna do when you're done? And she has no idea. She don't even like what she's doing. She doesn't like what she's studying. And I think that's you're $30,000-$40,000 in debt at least, and you have no idea really what you want to do. You don't really like what you're doing. That time, that energy could be placed into something that you do have some sort of interest or passion in. Whether that's beauty school. Like you mentioned, being a plumber, electrician, whatever that case, getting a trade that you can always, make some money off of. You can go out there and, get $1 without having to be in, $50,000 worth of debt. I think is very important.
Yeah, that seems to be a common problem right there. Is like I hear it all the time, and even I have a computer science degree, and like I don't even use it, and I'm making good money, but still I could have made that same good money without it. Because my job currently does not require it at all. But yeah, and I know, hey, Loren as well.
Yeah, videography, photography major, ended up being a phys ed teacher. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't. Like, he's gotten a bad debt for no reason. Granted, I did need a bachelor's to get into the school I was teaching at. But yet and still, if I was getting a bachelor's, I would have got it in phys ed if I knew I was going to end up doing that. You can't really see the future. But it's just like, where are options, yo? Because like you said, in high school, they're like college. It's like, all right, cool. When I graduated and I was at Hudson Valley, I'm working with people at Albany Med that are like, they're like, yo, I don't only do this. I'm a plumber on the side. I'm an electrician. I cut hair, I'm a barber. It's like, yo, and they're making, I know some people right now that have no degree that are making more than people with doctorates. That's wild.
Mm.
Yep. I mean, school. I mean, I'll say it. I mean, just more times than not, this education system. It's a. I don't want to say it's a scam, but it's a way for the federal government to make a lot of money on these kids that don't know any better. You go. They're not going to give you a $10,000-$20,000 loan to start a business right out of high school, but they'll let you take on six figures worth of debt, and put you in a rat race for the rest of your life. Put you in a situation where you're starting underwater and you got to swim to the top to just make it to be able to breathe. So I just think it's very important to just not get so caught up in trying to get to college and that's the end all be all, and then work for somebody. Keep your options open, like you were saying, Sean. Just look at, kind of explore all avenues, see what you like, see what you don't like.
Yeah, because the worst thing you want to do is just be stuck in a position where you're like, damn, I got this degree and I don't even like what I do, you know?
Hmm.
That
Or
shit is
even
ass.
or even worse, like you do find a job in your I mean, I'm sorry, you get the degree and you do like what you do, but you can't find a job in that field. They're not hiring like that, you know? And little did you know. So
Yeah.
Word.
I would say something that I would drop on the youth is eliminate excuses.
mm,
I think this could be a touchy subject, but I feel that too many times there's an excuse for why we shouldn't be where we are. Why this didn't happen for me. Why oh well, I was set back, or I was put in this a certain situation, whether that's with family, economically. Now, I'm not saying that these things don't matter, these things don't affect, people's opportunities and different things that you get presented with. I mean, let's face it. I mean, economically, kid coming from a white neighborhood where the median household income is $500,000 a year, they have a better opportunity to succeed over a kid coming from the hood. But I feel that there's too much, almost like an ingrained excuse of why we don't deserve this, or why this is not the norm. And I don't know. I just think that there's too much tolerance for that. I think that there needs to be a zero tolerant uh, kind of excuse avenue, for lack of a better term. Um, I just think whatever the case is, wherever you're coming from, there's opportunity. There's resources. We just gotta jump on them and teach our youth, show them how to build credit, show them how to learn finances, show them how to tell them, you got to go see a tutor, you got to spend extra time in school. Uh, I just think that's something that I say goes overlooked, but it's talked about more than done.
absolutely.
The term each one teach one. I think in our community, in the Black community, we don't have our dollar doesn't circulate long enough. You know what I mean? I mean, there's always that conversation about the Jewish community, how they keep a dollar in their community within like 10 to 14 days or something like that. It doesn't happen too often in our community, so I think there needs to be a lot more teaching done, and a lot more less tolerance for excuses that, granted, aren't for no reason, but we just can't have that be the reason that our community doesn't go to where it needs to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a lack of accountability, it seems.
Hmm.
You want to blame somebody else for your problems, and it's like, I mean, like we're three successful Black men, well, I'm light skinned, so I'm mixed, but either way, um
Drizzy.
yeah, little he said Jersey. But I see a lot of people from elementary school or middle school, high school, man, and I'm like, yo, their lives are so fucked up because like the choices that they made. I still see them on Facebook, blaming everybody but themselves, man. And it's just like you can't fucking keep doing that. There's no growth there. It's like,
Word.
when are you gonna take responsibility for your failures?
That's what it is. A lot of people can't. They can't stomach that too much pride. Like some people can, some people don't have the ability to say, "I failed at this. I need to do a do over or try it again." Some people really just
Uh-huh.
blame. Like this shit is wild to me, bro.
Yeah, no, to your point, Duff. I mean, that's the thing. It's a hard thing to stomach. It's a hard thing to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Damn, I didn't." You know, let me look at the last 5 years. Let me look at the last 10 years. Let me look at what I have right now. What's in front of me? Did I do what I was supposed to do? Am I? It's a tough conversation. No one wants to have that conversation with themselves. And even like I was telling my girlfriend the other night, things are good. Granted, I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm starting to feel like I need to be doing more. What's the next thing? Where am I gonna, where am I going from here? I feel like I'm getting a little stagnant or comfortable. And she was like, that's good that you had that mentality, because a lot of people just can't look at where they are now and be like, damn, I need to make some changes. Who are a lot worse off. So I just think, to your point, like it's a hard conversation that people do not want to have with themselves, and there's too many, kind of lack of accountability.
Complacency is not your friend. A lot of
No.
people get comfortable, and it's like for example, when I went back home for a funeral, my boy died. I'm seeing a bunch of people, and I'm not. It's no knock to them. Like, do your thing. If you're happy, you're happy. But it's just like Kai, you know us. I went to Miami, DR. And we be doing stuff. Shawn,
Yeah.
I be coming back with stories. Fucking
Yeah.
Brazil, and it's like I don't
Yeah.
know if I could say the same for people from my hood, bro. And that shit makes me sad. And
Yeah.
it's like, you talk to them, yeah, they're happy, but it's like you haven't really done anything, my nigga. Like,
It's like a certain peak, a certain level they kind of reach at. I mean, going to Miami, going to ATL for a weekend, that's pretty much, that's that, like, hey, like, I was out here this year, I did something crazy. And like you said, no knock on them. It's whatever you can afford and whatever makes you happy, but you just know that, like, I want more for myself, and I'm pushing myself so I can enjoy, foreign trips and nicer things. And I work hard for this. So I get what you're saying there, Lauren.
I think it's okay for people to just pump gas though. You know, like if they, they don't have like wild ambitions. I mean, I think like we get caught up in this thing where like, especially now, like everybody needs to be successful. I mean, and I know this is kind of countering what, this episode's about, but for me, my point of view is like, I feel like there needs to be a certain hierarchy or certain, like, there's a duality to everything,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So it's like you need these guys to run the gas stations. You need people in fast food, even though they getting higher pay now too, but at the same time, inflation going up, so it kind of evens out. So you need people in the low positions who are not ambitious, With that note, this show ain't for you.
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. They make the world go
100%.
around, bro. I'm saying.
No, yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, those people, they serve I mean, I don't want to dehumanize anybody, but like they serve in the greater hierarchy of things. They serve a purpose. I mean, I ain't gonna call anybody, worker ants, but like that's kind of, in order to make this ecosystem work, they gotta play that role. So
Exactly.
I agree 100% with that.
Because
I'm people. That's what, everyone wants to be cut from a different cloth, and everybody wants to be, I'm on Instagram, I gotta show success, and I gotta show this, and I gotta show that. There's a lot of societal pressure because of that, but most people aren't like that. Most people aren't experiencing these type of things because, granted, whatever, systematically, economically, whatever, but they have to play a certain role. They have to, add to this food chain of hierarchy. So that makes sense.
absolutely.
this is a big one. So pause.
Nah, unpause.
Yo, my fault. I was like, hey, yo. But all right, so saying no is a talent you must acquire. A lot of people don't have the strength or talent to just say no to things. Like, yo, you don't always got to be in the mix. Sometimes you need to stay home. Like, I don't know. For me, that was big, especially in college. Like, there are definitely parties I wanted to go to all the time. But I'm like, I don't even got money for gas right now. Should I really go there? Because I know I'm gonna buy a 12 pack. It's like, gotta say no. You gotta learn how to say no.
Yeah, I agree.
And just because an opportunity pops up doesn't mean you should take it. It may look good, but down the line you might get screwed over in the end. When if you just said no in the beginning, you would be avoiding mad drama. So saying no is a talent.
I was gonna say
I
too,
agree.
like Don't let people borrow money all the time either. That goes in accordance with saying no. You might have a generous heart, but at the same time, it's like, you got to look out for yourself first, and then like, if you know that they're not going to pay you back, or the likelihood is very slim, or even doing favors for people, man. Like, if you got a skill and you're handy or something like that, and they're like, oh man, help me out, man, whatever, and you like, well, you gonna give me some money for it, or you gonna do something for me? And they're like, nah, but if I get around to it, it's like you gotta pick and choose like who you think is worthy of your skills or your money, because that's your hard-earned money, and it's okay to say no. You might hurt their feelings, but they'll get it some way or somehow from somebody else.
I think you gotta kind of analyze who your peoples are and what they bring to the table. How often are you guys doing stuff like that? Is that the extent of your relationship? Somebody that I'm an extended friend of hits me up and is like, hey, can you take your Saturday to come help me move? I gotta take stuff from this side of town to the other side of town. You're my boy, bro. I don't got it like that, but like how we do. And I know that that's not how we are. I don't know. You never hit me up to go grab a beer. You never like, hey man, tonight's on me or nothing like that. I'm probably more inclined to say no. Hey man, I'm busy that day. I'm sorry. But if it's my boy that, man, I already know what time it is. There's times we go out, or there's times when I need something. He's like, yo, bro, I got you, bro. Like that's, you don't even think twice about it. So, your time is your money. Your time is, that's all you got. So, you can't sacrifice that for, somebody that's not in your circle like that, or bringing something to the table in your life. So that's, that no is a skill in that circumstance,
Absolutely. Cop on $5. Sorry.
I would also like add to that, sacrificing what you want to do for what you have to do. I think like what Loren was saying with the different parties and things that are going on, and damn, I want to do this, but I only got this amount of money. Or like I know tomorrow I got to do this, and I shouldn't sacrifice. I know I'm going to be too hungover to do that, or I'm not going to be in my best form. I shouldn't sacrifice what you want to do for what you have to do. That's for especially. I mean, this goes for everybody, but as a man, especially as a black youth, that's something that really, really needs to be hammered down. There's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a girl that wants you to come over. There's a lot of temptation out here in this world, and a lot of things that are designed to take your money and distract you from what the main goal is. If it's, I mean, even shopping for clothes, and even like the newest Jordans, and even though all these things are designed to spend. Facebook and Instagram, and having all these advertisements for you to. I mean, a couple months ago when I first noticed that Instagram has that option to purchase stuff on Instagram, I laughed to myself. I was like, yo, they really are doing this now.
Word.
So it's designed to just take and make you spend. There's things out there that want to take your time and energy. You have to be disciplined as a human, more so. I mean, as a man, you got to be able to say no. I'm not going to do this, or I know I got to take care of rent next week, and I know I got to take care of this, and I'm going to put this in front of what I want to do. I know you want to go out. I know you want to hang out with that girl. I know you want to take her out and get a bottle and do all this nonsense, but you have an obligation to take care of the business first, and you have to kind of, you got to keep that mindset. You got to keep that way about you, or it's gonna be tough times ahead.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people don't seem to appreciate, I guess, the process, like the time spent in developing yourself. If you take time away from the parties and all that stuff like that, and you use that time for self-development, learn how to play an instrument, learn how to if you want to be an author, you could learn different techniques on how to write. I mean, all this stuff people neglect because they're looking for that quick, oh man, I gotta jump on the next fad kind of thing in order to be quickly successful. But they don't understand, a lot of people who are successful took time out in self-development.
That's true. Don't allow the voice of your fears to be louder than the voices in your head. I like that.
Who said that? It's
Yeah.
like, as men, be a man of your word. If I'm gonna say something, especially to my closest friends, hey, they're like, yo, I need you to take me to the airport or something like that. I'll be like, yo, I got you. Tell me what time, no problem. Or like, damn, my car broke down, and could you take me to work? Or could you help me move? Something like that. I'll be like, yo, just tell me the time. I'm there. If I can't do it, 9 out of 10 times I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you, or you need to borrow money or something like that. But as men, I think that's like becoming this lost art, and like, or not lost art, but more like a trait. People aren't honoring their word. If you say you're gonna do something, man, you should do it, man. People find more value in the word, and you honoring that.
That's real shit.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. For big things, like someone's coming into town, or I told somebody that I was going to meet them at a certain time, or like when I was working at for my previous employer, you tell them you're going to do something at a certain time, you do it. That's not a problem. Never been a problem for me. However, what I found myself struggling with as of late, I've had to kind of call myself out on it internally, is kind of prioritizing what I think I need to follow through on, or I need to be prioritizing what I think I need to be a man of my word on. And what I mean by that is, you know, say my girlfriend's coming and she's like, "Hey, did you place an order for the food already?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Or like, "Did you make the reservation for a restaurant?" Like, yeah, yeah, I'll do that. By the time you come, or I'll make sure I have the dishes washed, or something stupid like that. But she'll come and she'll be like, "Yo, I thought you said you were gonna do this," and to me, it's just not a big deal. And I'm just like, yo, like, okay, well, I forgot, or I got caught up with something. Like, it's not a big deal. And I've kind of had to call myself out on that as of late, because it's gonna snowball. You start thinking these small things aren't a big deal, or you don't have to follow through on these things. Then you're gonna promise your family member you're gonna go, hang out with them one weekend, or you're gonna go help mow the grass or do something light, and you're going to be used to letting people down. You're going to be used to being like, oh, well, I'll just do it next weekend. It's not a big deal. So, to what you're saying, I think that's definitely a very important trait to have, and to kind of make sure you do not lose that. Being a man of your word is a very, very important trait. And again, I just personally in my life had to start to, call myself out and try to be better with that shit.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong either with saying, going back to what we said earlier, is like saying no. It's like if you really feel like you can't do it, then just be like, hey, I don't feel like I'm gonna get around to that, just because I got other stuff, And I think a lot of people fall victim to that, and they're so afraid to like disappoint people, and it's like, the disappointment comes with you telling me that you can do it, and then that you're not going to be able to do it because you already have stuff lined up. So it's like, it's okay, and I think everybody should know it's okay to be like, I can't do it,
Yeah.
because this way they'll be like, oh, I trust, that you have your shit together in order to help me when you do have time.
Right. Yeah, that means there's a lot more power behind those words when you say, yeah, I got you. You don't got to think twice. Oh, I know Shawn got me. I know Duff got me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. This is probably I'll say for a college kid. I wish I knew this, but establish good credit early. So even if
Oh man.
if you get approved for like a $500 credit card, go buy a Snickers, pay that shit off, and then just let it sit, bro. Like, just establish good credit early, cause I mean, we all know credit, man. That shit determines a lot of what you're able to do and not able to do in life when you really become an adult and you try to make certain moves. So if you're in college right now, establish good credit early. And with that being said, though, you have to learn to be responsible with that credit card. Because yeah, you got that $500, but you better put that $500 back on that card, or you're gonna be looking at a 430 score and you're gonna be talking about
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say for off that Duff, even to be honest, even in like high school, if you can learn these skills, if you can learn about credit, if I can go down, or if I can, speak to the youth, under 14, under 13, whatever, and teach them from the get go about credit. I think that's very, 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 very important, very useful, very underrated. Um, yeah, like you get that. You get, what do they call that? A whatchamacallit card, a secured credit card, right? Like you got to give the bank $500, and they kind of like monitor it for you. They if you miss that payment, then it's gonna hit your score. Like that's key right there. I mean, when I got out of school, I really like I heard about credit. I didn't really understand it. I kind of thought it was just gonna be something that was everyone starts with the even score, and then you see what happens after college or whatever. Man, I got the shock of my life when I finished Sage and I got back to Miami. And I was like, like, okay, you're gonna have to looking at credit, or you want to buy a house one day, you're gonna have to make sure you have a good credit score. Like, okay, like let me just check my credit score. And dog, I was like at a 500, and
Facts.
yeah, like, dude, I was like, what? I was like, okay, like, so how do I, okay, you got to get a secured credit card. You can't apply for a regular credit card. Your shit sucks. So I
Yeah.
had to get a secured credit card, and the discipline is real. You gotta, keep it under. For me, I wanted to make sure I paid off 20%, or I had only 20% balance every month. And if you messed up, if you fucked up one of those days, that credit score will go right back down. And
Facts.
you can do that shit for 4 or 5 months consistently. As soon as you mess up, and it teaches you. And I had to do it the hard way. I had to sacrifice. I had to, just be very, very meticulous, and kind of going back to doing what you have to do opposed to what you want to do. Like, there've been times like, I came back from school, everyone wants to go out and this and that. And I was like, look, I gotta, I can't, because, I'm an intern making, $600 every 2 weeks, and my credit limit is, 500. I couldn't really do much. And that kind of like put me in a position where I had to be disciplined. And eventually I was able to be approved and get a house, but that took a long time, a lot of sacrificing. So understanding, being like financially literate is, I mean, dude, one of the most important values that any college, high school kid can understand and learn right now.
Shit,
Amen.
there should be a fucking class, man, in high school. They should make that a mandatory class,
And they don't do it for a reason.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
crazy.
It's all part of the game. Something else I wanted to point out though, pertaining to credit though, like for anybody who is starting out getting a credit card, and you do mess up and you miss a payment or whatever, reach out to that bank. You never know. Because the worst case scenario, they say no. There's been numerous times in my past where like I couldn't make that minimum payment because I was that broke. And I reached out to my bank and I told them, I said, listen, I can't make that minimum payment. Is there anything I could do so it doesn't reflect, poorly on my score or whatever? And they work with me. They literally push the payment date.
I mean, you're on point with that. People don't understand. There's a closing date, and then there's another date that is a couple days later that has to do with when they reflect your overall monthly statement. There's a statement date and the closing date. That
Right.
closing date is when they look to see what your overall credit usage is. So if you call them, you let them know, hey, I might be a little late, or can you move it from the 18th to 26th? And they work with you. You're putting yourself in a good position. So that's really good. It's really important to know.
Yeah, because a lot of people are afraid of like reaching out to the bank because they think it's like this evil entity or whatever. I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, it's like worst case scenario, like I said, is that they'll say no. They
Yeah.
can't do anything, and then you're still in that same position that you already started at before calling them. So, yeah, reach out to your banks, man, if you're having trouble. And then at least this way you're doing your part, or at least as much as possible, in order to set your self in a good position.
Word. All right. So another advice for people: literally never give up, because you don't know what the outcome is going to entail. I'm gonna give a quick story. I was playing ball. I think it was either last week or the week before, and it was 2-on-2, and I was playing against this he was like probably 15, 16, high school kid trying to play ball. I'm not gonna say I was killing him, but I was killing him, and I could just see that as I kept like busting his ass, he was like, "Man, fuck this shit. I don't even want to play anymore." So there was one possession where he tried to like cross over on me, and I ripped that shit. And I was about to go up for a layup, and I looked back, and he was just at the foul line, and I just stopped. I stopped, literally gave him the ball, and I was like, "Bro, try to do that shit again. Don't give up. You literally just gave me a bucket because I ripped you. You can't give up on a play. If you trying out for varsity, somebody rip you, and you just stand at the foul line talking about, damn, that nigga just ripped me, man, and you're not hustling back on defense, you're gonna get cut, bro. Like, yo, you can't give up."
Yeah.
Yo, after that, that man's confidence went through the roof. He was trying to kill me, but he didn't do it. But it's just like, yo, you can't, like, you just can't give up. Even if you're applying for a job and there's people that are way more qualified than you, you don't know if you're gonna be that one underdog that actually makes it, bust all they ass and gets promoted, ends up being their boss. Like, you don't know the outcome of what's gonna happen. You can never give up. It's never too late until it's too late. Like, never give up, yo.
Yeah. That's Cap though. That boy's killing Duff.
Yo, right. Kai's ducking too. Let's air. We on wax now. Let's air it out. Why you still ducking me, bro? It's like not.
Yeah. This man Duff has been ducking this one-on-one for like what 5 years at least.
I mean, 4, but it is what it is.
Just tell me
No,
ACL. Yeah, ACL. That's it.
Facts, Shawn. Talk to him. Facts.
He said I can't bring my A game, my ACL. That's it.
Word. That shit. That shit been healed for like 10 years. Oh shit. But yeah, no, I'm ducking Kai, man. I gotta work on my left, man.
No, to what you're saying, yeah. I mean, hell yeah, don't ever give up. You know, you never know. You never know when you're going to be that person that gets the opportunity. If you just have that mentality, you'll do the most. You'll do the most with that opportunity that's given. So, 100%, never give up. Always, I mean, honestly, just always keep yourself in the game. You know, give yourself an opportunity, give yourself the next shot. This is America. There's still a lot of fucking opportunity out here.
For real.
I'm gonna say give up. Everybody just stop so I could succeed better. No. Oh man.
Okay.
So I guess I'll piggyback off that. Like I'll say like one of the jewels is like don't be too hard on yourself either. You know, too late is better than never. Yeah, there's so many people that just give up on shit, man. And it's just like, you know, you gotta think, what is your life gonna be like if you keep doing that shit? You know? Like you're just not gonna amount to anything. Taking that bar and setting it lower and lower and lower because you're just like, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that, you know. And I am so sick of hearing this fucking shit where people say like, "Oh, I'm too old for this." You know, I'm too old for that. You know, you could be the first person. You never know. You could be that first 60-year-old or whatever to be a fucking nurse or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Facts. Yeah, now my aunt, probably a few days ago, I asked her because I'm looking to go back into school, and Shawn, you already know that. And I was like, yo, this nigga. I was like, yo, when did you go back to college to become a nurse? And she was like, yo, my late 30s. My aunt's been a nurse for probably like 40 years now, and she didn't get started until she was basically 40 years old. And now, not to put her business in the street, but now she's dead as a millionaire because she invested in blah blah blah.
There you go.
She started late in the game. You figure nursing school is what, 4 more years on top of having a bachelor's, 3-4 more years?
That's
about that.
example.
2-3 years.
Word. So you figure, let's say late 30s. She started when she was 38. She just became a nurse at 40. Now she's about to be, I think, 61. Nah. Yeah, 61. So she got like 20 years in the game. My fault. 20 years in the game. But she started late, and now she's a millionaire. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny, you guys. It's funny that's a topic of conversation because I was talking to my girl about this the other night. Like, you can really, I mean, if you think about it, we're all like what in our early 30s, late 20s, right here. I mean, tomorrow, if you made a decision that you wanted to be a doctor, if you wanted to be a fucking astronaut, like you can do that shit, but by the time you're 40, like that's fucking thing to think about. Like, you can fuck around and be a fucking astronaut by the time you're 40 years old. Like that's just a completely 300 or 180 degree difference from whatever the fuck we're doing. At least for me, whatever I'm doing right now. I mean, do I think right now in 8 years Kai's gonna be an astronaut? Like, Probably not, but if I fucking wanted to, I could do that shit. I could go through school. I could just, apply myself and, if I have some sort of new passion for it, I could do that shit. We still are young. If I wanted to be a doctor, whatever the case is, I mean, you can be a 60-year-old doctor, like in the case of your aunt, in the 60s and did not become a doctor or a nurse until you were, 40 years old. So there's just still so many, and this fucking country allows us to do that. It's not like other countries where like, okay, well, once you're like this, once you're a psychiatrist, you're pretty much a psychiatrist for the rest of your life. Once you're a construction worker, you're pretty much that for the rest of your life. Nah, this is America. You can do whatever. There's so many opportunities out here. So just never fucking give up on that. Never, I mean, take that every opportunity and chance that you want because, you're allowed to do that out here.
Yeah.
Man.
Don't give in to the fear. The fear of
Yeah.
failure. There it is. The fear.
I think I told you I started listening to that audio book again. Yo, high school kids, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Give it a read, man. That shit changed my life.
It's free on YouTube.
Facts.
Just like a lot of other audiobooks. But yeah, it definitely teaches you a lot of life lessons about managing your money.
You about to make it spicy? You about to talk about relationships?
Yeah, I gotta go down this road.
Uh-oh.
Open that can up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a can of worms. So as a youth, man, like dealing with relationships, take your time. There's numerous times that on the podcast where we've been touching on this, where it's just like people rush into relationships. Take your time. Date. You don't have to stick your dick in everything. You don't have to fucking open your pussy for everybody. It's like, yo, just take your time. Talk to them. Figure them out. See if they have the same interests. Like, date. Don't settle down because, like, as soon as you like, oh, this person's got all the great traits that I need and all this stuff like that, there's always going to be somebody who could offer you more, So, like, be selective. Take your time, work on your goddamn career. All right. Don't get so caught up in this marriage shit. Also, I'm loading it up. I don't care. I'm sorry. But like the marriage thing, man, like take your time. I'm so fucking sick of seeing people getting divorced. Take your time. God damn. Because like after the wedding, that's when marriage actually begins. All right. A lot of women don't think about that. All right. You're so focused on the wedding day that you don't pay attention to that actual, oh shit, I'm gonna be with this motherfucker for the rest of my life. For life. If you take those vows seriously. But most people don't. They just like, they're words. They're just things to say that make you feel all nice and cuddly inside. And it's like, no, that shit should mean something. Going back to what I was talking about being a man of your word, women, be a woman of your word also. If you said it till death do us part, that's it. Niggas is dying if we break up. Right? So take that shit seriously. Take relationships seriously. This is supposed to be like, well, if you're doing monogamous relationships, and I'm gonna throw this in there too. If you do decide to be in a monogamous relationship, yo, stop lying to people. All you gotta do is just tell the truth. Say, hey, listen, I'm getting bored. It's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be mad awkward and fucking uncomfortable as fuck. But honor that relationship, man, and be like, yo, I'm not happy if you're not happy, and tell them like these are the changes I need you to make in order to sustain this relationship, And if you don't do it, then just at least give them the respect of just being like, yo, this isn't working out for me. Let's break up if you don't want to work on it.
Yeah.
But this cheating shit is some coward shit. Too many cowards out here. It's like, yo, you want to hop from person to person and fuck, then just do that. Just put it out there. Be like, yo, listen, I'm not into that like one man, one woman shit. I need multiple partners because I need variety. Be that person and they'll respect you for it. They'll be hurt, but they'll respect you for it.
I think in terms of like relationships and taking that serious, I mean, high school, college, whatever, like, yeah, like date learn about different people, learn about what you like, what you don't like, and like things can change. You can be 22, even 21, whatever, and a certain thing you like can change. Like we don't really, I mean, was it like men don't really fully develop their whatever vertex or something in their brain until they're like 25 years old. Different things that you experience, different people you experience. Your preferences can change as well, and that's okay. But definitely take what you can from all relationships. The good, the bad, the ugly, and learn from it. Like to what you were saying, Shawn. I mean, keep it 100. It's going to be hard. You're going to have tough conversations. You're not happy with something, like let them know. It's like you said, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird. It's going to hurt. I mean, I remember when I first broke up with my first serious relationship. Dude, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was crying. I felt seeing her so hurt me, but I just knew it was the best thing to do, because I wasn't happy. You have to have these hard conversations and do the best thing for that person, because that's gonna make you better, make them better. But definitely like pay them the respects of keeping it real. It's gonna make you a person of your word. It's gonna give you a certain amount of integrity, and they'll respect you for it. At the end of the day, they'll be hurt. They might not talk to you for weeks, a month, whatever, but at the end of the day, they'll always respect you. So that's my
Yeah.
input with that.
Amen, man. A lot of relationships that end, people don't get that closure, and it's because communication wasn't there. If the communication was there, you wouldn't really need closure. And then after the fact, 2 months down the line, you still like, damn, I really don't know why we broke up. It's because y'all wasn't talking. Like you gotta talk. Communication is key to any relationship, whether it be
Yeah.
friendship. Me and Kai, we gotta communicate. Me and my girl, we gotta communicate. Me and Shawn, we gotta communicate. Every relationship you have with people on this earth requires communication. It's key, and if you don't have that, it's going to fail no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
My thing is like, how are they supposed to know, if you're unhappy in the relationship? It's like they're not a mind reader, just like how you're not a mind reader. So y'all both need to communicate. This is
Yeah.
stupid, and you're gonna hurt them anyway if you cheat on them. So it's
True.
like have the conversation, have the difficult conversation,
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say another piece of advice for people getting into relationships, and this saved my ass many of times, is 6 month hump period. So as you know, when you first meet somebody, everything is all well and good. You know what I mean? It's like the honeymoon phase. She's hot, you're hot to her, y'all fucking all the time. Let that shit die down after 6 months and see if you want to be with that person. Then ask them to be your girlfriend. Me personally, I wait a little bit. I'll say 4 to 6 months before I'm asking somebody, yo, be my girlfriend. Like, nah, nigga. I gotta see what you really about. Cause I know people, I mean, no name, no blame. I know people that have like started dating within like a month. Come to find out, motherfucker's a psycho. Like,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna know that because you've only been with them for like 4 weeks, bro. Like, how you gonna learn somebody in 4 weeks when they're learning themselves after like 18 years and shit? Like, come on, bro.
Yo, it's true.
Yeah.
True. Just like Kai said, man, we're constantly evolving, man. And it's like, as you get older, you're changing, and it's like people don't always change together in a relationship. They grow apart, and they're moving in different directions. They have different aspirations, different ambitions. I mean, it's just like, you got to be realistic when you're going into these relationships, and even same thing with friends, man. You got friends who are just like, yo, I'm not on that level where I'm like trying to do all this extra shit. I just want to, go to work, come home, play video games, and then fucking eat Lunchables. That's all I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's okay, at least be honest and like, don't get involved in like a business plan or something like that when you're not on that same level, because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yo,
So,
I'm glad you said that. Sometimes close friends and family can hinder you from pursuing your dreams. It,
mhm.
it's gonna be hard to do, but sometimes you gotta cut off people you love, man, even if it's family, because they ain't gonna do nothing but hold you back. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
No, but that's definitely another difficult conversation to have. I don't want it to seem like people use each other, but in a relationship, any relationship with a girlfriend or your friends, like your male friends or whatever, or your female friends, people in some way, shape, or form use each other for things, and that's okay. Whether it's for good conversation, good insight, take these relationships for what they are. You know what I mean? And like, don't be upset, I guess, that people do use each other for things. It's not a bad thing. I mean, you don't want to just write people off, though. I mean, don't act like your friends are dispensable, but but just know, I say, go into relationships trying to get something out of it, I guess, not in a deceitful way, but just more so of like, where you can critically analyze it in black and white and go, what am I getting from this person? If it's like a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
then at least you could sever it and be like, all right, it's black and white, it's toxic, I'm out. You could get that closure a lot easier, I feel, if you analyze things that way, and if on the flip side, if you're like, oh man, like this person brings a lot of joy to my life, we have a good time, and like we have great conversation, and even if you want to go on some monetary shit, like, anytime I need to borrow money, I could get it from them. And then anytime they need money, I could give it to them, if I got it. And, that's great, and you're able to look at it in like a very critical way where it's just like, okay, black and white. And these are the people I want to keep around me. And then on the flip side, these toxic motherfuckers, I want to get rid of them. And I could cut them off easily, whether they're family or friends,
I know we add. I mean, it's a give and take thing. All relationships have some sort of symbiotic type of energy, right? I mean, whether it's with a significant other, whether it's with friends, like you are providing a certain value to my life, and I'm providing a certain value to you, which is why we want to be, symbiotic with one another. That also, like, yeah, it is what it is. You talk about, like, I can help them out with money, or I bring joy to their lives. I bring this to their lives. Like that also goes kind of hand in hand with the. And we're probably gonna start jumping into like more like the marriage topic, but that marriage is a contract. You know what I mean? Like I know you were saying like, yo, don't like go up there and say your vows if you're not serious about that, and that's true. But you got to really, you're going into a partnership now with another, with another CEO. That's what this is. You're the CEO of your life. They're the CEO of their lives. This is what XYZ company brings to Shawn's company, and now you see the value in having a partnership with them. Now you're going to be locking in and signing that contract. You know what I mean? So they bring you happiness, they help you monetarily, whatever the case is. Now you got to say like, okay, this is something that I want this for the rest of my life. This is something that I have to make a commitment for. If I don't want it anymore, I gotta now still pay for it. You know what I mean? So that marriage is a very interesting concept, just because at the end of the day, it really is, kind of a business contract.
Bingo. Marriage is a business. Point blank. Period. It's just a lot of people, and I used to be under this spell too until the scales were removed from my eyes. And we talked about this on the episode, the relationship episode, but it's like you got to go in, you got to marry somebody and know that if you go into a coma, they'll be able to hold it down. You're not gonna wake up to your car note not paid. Yeah, you guys are homeless now because she didn't know how to pay the fucking mortgage. Your pipes are frozen and because she couldn't ask for help. Like, yo, you gotta marry somebody that you know can hold it down. It's a business at the end of the day. A lot of people say, oh, this person completes me. This person could, nigga, you should already be complete. You should be complimenting the other person that you're with. Like, I don't know. People just have this, from what I see and what I see on Instagram, other than people being obsessed with that stupid ass fucking engagement ring, they just have like a preconceived notion that's all hugs and Hallmark cards, and it's like, no, my nigga, like you guys are gonna argue for a week, probably a few years down the line. But are you gonna be able to? Are you gonna be able to make up, or is that just gonna keep leading to divorce? Like, I don't know. People have this wrong idea about marriage, in my opinion, especially since Instagram just promotes that stupid ass fucking ring, man.
Yeah, it begs a question to me though. Like, do we have an unrealistic expectation on marriage, or is marriage a sort of prehistoric concept that we're still kind of clinging on to. I kind of just think that, just in general, monogamy. I mean, that's like not a natural state. If I'm being honest, it's just we're primal beings. We're like one of the only species that do have or commit to one monogamous relationship or whatever. Not to go down that rabbit hole too much, but it's like not a. I don't think it's more of like a religious concept that was in place through the church, and we're becoming more what's the word I'm looking for, I guess buttoned up, for lack of a better term, people, species, whatever. Like, we're not savages. We don't have sex with multiple people. We don't do that anymore. This is what the concept of church and religion has implemented, and it's wrong to do that stuff. And I don't know. I think that's, not saying that's right or wrong, but the getting married and thinking that that's automatically what we're supposed to do, and this is what people do, kind of like reminds me of the college situation. Like, okay, once I'm done with high school, like, right, I gotta go to college. Or once I'm been with this girl for 2 years, it's almost like, your friends, your family, her aunts, everyone's like, oh, so when you guys gonna get married soon, or what's the plans? You start getting that societal pressure. To me, it's just an interesting concept, because 55% of people of all marriages end in divorce. That is more times than not, people get divorced than stay in a long-term marriage. So I don't know. It kind of begs a question to me: is it that people don't really understand what marriage is, or that marriage is something that is, I don't know, just kind of like not realistic?
It's definitely
Yeah.
something that just doesn't work now. I guess.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's a dying culture, in my opinion.
The overall theme is just like, take your time with that shit, man, and don't rush into it. And I'm glad you brought up societal pressure, or even pressure from the family. Don't fall victim to that bullshit, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to deal with it, not the family. It's your relationship.
Literally, cherish those who believe in you.
That's a good one.
You're always gonna have naysayers and people that don't believe in you, but the ones that do, and always like, for example, this dude Kai, Shawn too, but Kai, like, I've shouted him out many times. There are times when I'm out here acting a fool, and this dude will, long story short, will be like, "Yo, you're better than that, bro. Like, knock it off," type shit. And Shawn, like, you already know with the whole videography thing, you believed in me more than I believed in myself. And if it wasn't for that, like, I wouldn't have been going to Newburgh with you or doing all these other shit. Like, you got to really keep those people around you who better you, because you might, like, sad to say, you're gonna have some people that you're friends with that are truly clowns, but you won't see it until later down the line in life. So try to, like, I'm not saying weed them out sooner than later, but you should try to weed them out sooner than later.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, man. Rather have a small group of good friends than, a large group of mediocre friends.
Word.
So,
Facts. It's definitely good to have people in your circle that is, supportive, gonna call you out on your shit when you need calling out on. People that are hungry. You always see that, like, I mean, again, we talk about, like, we need certain people in this world or whatever, but you see on Instagram, there's that, like, that kind of like meme post. It's like, if your friends are not talking about stocks, crypto, investing, like, you need new friends. And, like, it's kind of cliche, but, like, there's obviously truth in that. Like, I prefer to have people in my circle that are trying to do some shit. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about some bullshit right now, or are we trying to, like, figure out how we can make something happen? Opposed to, along with a lot of other things, that's definitely important to have a group or a small circle of people who are either like-minded or trying to make it, or they're going to be able to support you and call you out when it's needed.
And they gotta be sincere too, because you got some people that'll be like, yeah, I want to do this, and then when it's time to get busy, they're like, nah, bro, I'm about to go smoke. You want to come? It's like, what, Nick? Like, that shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's okay to smoke. It's like, that's not where we're going with that. Nah, but I'll tie into this. I feel like it's extremely important for like the especially young people, man. Stand on your own principles, man. I mean, fuck. Like even if it I don't know, even if it does sever, some relationships, man, with friends, man. If you believe in something strongly enough and you got like, shit to back it up, it's like, yo, people will respect you than being a follower, man. Like, don't be a follower, especially if like, cause people are gonna see it. They're gonna see it if you're faking it. Yeah, man. So definitely like be your own person, stand by your principles, and don't follow the crowd, man. That's
Agree 100%.
I'm like
Don't
98
don't
on that.
follow the crowd unless when they're like doing some. If, for example, if you got friends that are trying to start a business, obviously, and they invite you along, yeah, go ahead, try it out. But you got a whole bunch of people, yo, let's go rob this bank. It's like, my nigga, don't follow the crowd, man. Don't
Nah,
follow
if
the
they trying to start a business, don't follow them. Start your own business. It's like, nah.
Yo, I meant to say this on the other podcast, and this is like a deleted scene. This is mad ignorant. But yo, robbing people is becoming a lost art, man. Like people don't really carry money on them and shit no more, bro. Like
Nah,
can you really rob somebody nowadays?
yeah, you be like, yo, give me your pen. That don't sound tough. Give me your pen.
Oh, give me your pen. And it's like, so if you do, you got the hammer to him. It's like, yo, give me your money. I don't have any money. I don't have my cards. Give me your credit cards. Okay, I'm gonna cancel them.
Facts.
It's
Give
like,
me give me your crypto information.
like, all right, I'll give you a fake seed. Like, like shit is crazy. It's like, give me your jewelry. I only have an Apple Watch. Like, what?
Well, if anybody's out there listening, the proper way to rob somebody is you take their ID and then you can see where they live. Hopefully, it's a current residence, and then you can go to their house later and then take all their information.
Sounded
That's
very confident.
crazy.
You sounded very confident saying,
Oh, I mean, I never did it before, but I was just if
yeah,
I
right.
were to do it.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
all those, you keep that blicky at the crib.
facts.
If I were to break into somebody's house, that's how I would do
Keep
it.
that.
If I were to take their keys and make a copy of it,
That's wild. That shit is wild.
kids need to be smart. Think smart, all right? The world's forever changing. Money is like physical the physical dollar is no longer, worth taking. I mean, you got to take somebody's $20 cuz most people just carry like $20 at most on them if they do
Fact.
carry.
Yep.
And then they got their card. So, just take them over to the ATM, make sure your face is covered, because they got cameras. And then, tell them to punch in the pin and then take the money at the ATM.
Punching your pen.
Oh, wait, there's like limitations on how much you could take out in a day. So you might have to come back later and like,
Yo, wouldn't that suck if you got them to actually do that and then the fucking ATM was like, you've reached your maximum deposit or withdrawal for today? That'd be some bullshit.
damn, that's why you got to rob them the next day.
Just preying on one person for 24 hours is crazy.
These are the life lessons that the youth needs.
That ass. Oh shit. Like in all seriousness, this is like my last piece of advice that needs to be said. 'Cause a lot of people don't realize this, and I low key, I knew it, but I didn't like know it. Yo, eventually you're gonna fucking die, yo. So you gotta live it up.
Nah, that's good.
Wait, we're gonna.
Yeah.
Damn, dog.
Yo, like we all know this shit, but I feel like people don't really know. Like, yo, we're all gonna die. It's like, and Sean, you were saying this the other day, which is like, this is like real shit. You were like, yo, I'd rather have no material things, but if I died and everybody loved me and respected me and said, yo, that was a good ass dude, that means like the world, bro.
When I said that, sorry.
Yo, this nigga.
I don't even sound like something I would say. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Nah, I be talking on my ass sometimes because I'm emotional. Nah, that's good shit though.
Nah.
You're right.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a packed funeral house. You know what I mean? Like that. You don't want to know that people, people respect you, people loved you. I think that's definitely worth more than dying with X amount of money in your bank account, whatever. Like, you want to leave an impression on people.
Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't think about that. You know, they burn bridges, man. And they let pride get in the way. I mean, I'm definitely guilty of that myself. I mean, shit, I'm human, but you know, I don't know. Pride's a bitch, but you know, you rather prove a point, I guess, than to apologize or you know set things right. But I don't know. I'm gonna die alone.
Yo, COVID.
Yo, COVID did that.
COVID did that. Shit.
Nah,
Yo,
but-
all right. Thank you, brother, for coming on the show. We definitely gonna have you back, man. Gonna have a part 2 or something. Or we can talk about how I'm gonna bust your ass and ball, but it's up to you, man.
Ooh.
Shit, ducking that shit for years. But nah, I appreciate you guys having me. This was great. It's my first time doing this, so it's definitely a great experience. And yeah, love to come back one of these days.
Hey, good shit, man. Good shit. Thank you, bro.
Got you, brother. Shawn, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet you. We'll have many more episodes with you on.
Awesome, brother. Looking forward to it.
Word. All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. We'll talk soon.
All right, man. Peace.
Take it easy.
Peace.
All right, now let's go. Top 5 porn stars. Let's get it. Say no.
All right, Ava Adams. Summer. Oh shit, Summer Hart. Sorry.
Yo. Go ahead.
Who said that?
Word. Good shit.